Hello, hello, hello. For those who are watching the replay, welcome. It is Friday, March 8th, but whenever you are watching is divine. It's perfect. Feel free to fast forward wherever in the video you might be looking for your own reading, or just watch the whole thing and enjoy. Okay, let's see. There we go. That works way better. Alrighty then. So we got, I feel like I'm always on the side, so let's fix that. We're gonna do some readings. And having insights and all the thingies. Happy Friday. Welcome to those joining in or even looking from out in the TikTok universe. Welcome. Feel free to be a looky-loo or come on in. And we're going to do some free and paid readings as well as other paid services. And feel free to say hi. Let me know that you're here if you're new. Right? I tend to get a lot of new people. So if you're new, let me know. Let me know where you're from. How is it hanging? How are you doing? How are the energies treating you? How's everyone feeling? Don't be shy. Feel free to express yourself. I think I'm just organizing myself here. So we're gonna, like I said, I'm gonna be offering free and paid readings. And I'm gonna get into, I like to take some time to just say hi and let people wander in and do their thing and get situated and settled. Before just diving right in, I like to actually acknowledge people's presence. You know, it's a weird human thing that I do. So, thank you for joining and thank you for liking the live. Please like it and share it out into the TikTok universe to let that algorithm know that we here. What's up, Abigail? How are you? Hi, Abby. Thank you for sharing the live, Sheila, and giving me a follow. I love it. My heart, hello, new here. Thank you for joining. It's a pleasure, and like I'm excited. So sometimes I think that can come off a little inauthentic, but I am really appreciative to have you here. Also new here, I love it. So where is everybody from? I'm Angelica from Colorado. I am an intuitive empath and a badass quantum healer. And I offer readings as a way to provide insight and awareness into the deep unconscious that is lurking and often sabotaging our best efforts, and especially keeping us from manifesting the life that we desire and let's face it, deserve. So we got Ohio in the house, Indiana, Ohio, Syracuse, New York. I like it. We got Pennsylvania. We got Colorado in the house. That's me. So as you guys get in here, just hi, hello. I've been doing this work since I've been offering iterations of energy work and intuitive readings and other esoteric spiritual stuff since 2018. That's when I got my Reiki One, two, and mastership. Yes, you can pay for a reading, my dear. Jade, yes, you can pay for a reading. I'm gonna get into that. I just kind of giving a little bit a background. I've been doing this my whole life, really, but I didn't know that I was doing it. I didn't know I was really good at it. But yeah, feel free to ask questions. But let's kind of get into it. Jade, you absolutely can pay for a reading. So let's get into that now. Okay, so I like to start with like the free readings and just kind of going from there and building. So here's the free readings. So the free readings are comment with your name and a question. Comment with your name because I like to know who I'm talking to. It also gives us that like human connection, I feel. It can be a yes or no question. It can be love, health, career, general, relationship, etc. I just don't do pregnancy or fertility readings. I can facilitate them. I choose not to because it's just not my vibe. Okay. As for the paid services, Jade, who was so kind to ask. So as far as our free readings, I just intuitively go where I'm intuitively guided. Okay, so I may not call on you, but if I don't call on you or read for you specifically, don't take it personally. I'm just going where the group energy needs the awareness the most. Okay, so it's nothing personal. So as for our paid readings, okay, this is my paid services. And our free readings are going to be more short, abridged type readings, okay? An in-depth reading, okay, is going to be more in-depth. Then I have other types of energy work, chakra clearing and cord removal, quantum healing, mediumship, and multidimensional mediumship. Okay, and those are all the prices for paid services. Okay, and I do not offer those services for free because it takes a lot of energy to do this. So, in addition, if all the links to donate and pay are in my profile, they're all there. Sorry, my nose is running. And then you just let me know in the comments that you donated because you, my friend, who pay for a reading or a service, go first. And if you have any questions about any of my services or what they entail, please don't hesitate to ask. Okay. All right. I think we're good there. So just, I encourage you to keep commenting and liking the live and just engaging. The other day, TikTok was like, boop. It cut me off mid-reading because it was due to inactivity. So please feel free to comment and engage. And yeah, because that lets TikTok know that we're engaging. So I love it. I'm just looking through the not the readings. I'm looking through the comments now. I'm so sorry to hear that, Katie. Sending you all of the love. I'm not sure what kind of reading you're looking for. I don't do pregnancy or fertility. So I'm not sure if you're looking for that specifically or you're just looking for a more general outlook on things or more specific. But let me know. What's up, Jennifer? I was thinking about you the other day. I was going through my emails and I seen your email. How are you, Moon Girl? I love it. Thank you for sharing the live. I really appreciate it. What are the prices? I'm not sure if you've seen this, Jennifer, but there are my new prices. It's all there. Readings and healings and mediumship and multidimensional mediumship. It's all there. Okay. And then all of the links to pay are in my profile. Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, and stuff. Okay. If there's any questions, please do not hesitate to ask. Yeah, absolutely. Bridget, as a general rule, your people that have left the physical do watch over you. They have their own lives a lot of the time. And sometimes they're also healing from a life, especially if it's particularly traumatic or overwhelming in some way that the soul kind of needs to heal and rest and rejuvenate and relax. But as a general rule, yes, they do. Yes. All right. You miss me? I miss you too. Thank you for sharing the lives. I really appreciate it. Okay, so okay, where are we at, guys? So go ahead and keep on commenting with your names and a question. Okay. Keep on kind of putting that in there so I don't have to scroll all the way up, through all of them. You know what I mean? I encourage you to keep reposting or re-commenting. Just being mindful of spamming, but typically people don't spam. But I do want to encourage you to keep doing that. It lets TikTok know that everybody's engaged. Okay. So what I like to do before I really get into readings is just kind of connect to everybody here and the group energy. And hello, welcome. I appreciate you being here. Without you, I wouldn't be able to do what I love and give spiritual counsel and empower people to empower themselves and remind people who the fuck they are in my own quirky, goofy way. So thank you for being here, first off. Second, whether I'm reading for you or not, if something resonates, take it. How does it apply to your life? How can you implement it? What needs to change? What doesn't? Take it. How does it resonate? Okay. If it doesn't resonate, don't take it. There is no need to make life more confusing and conflicting than it already is. Okay. So just don't take it if it doesn't resonate. It's not for you. This is also about discernment. This also teaches us about discernment, learning to let go what is not ours, but knowing that it's for someone. Okay. We always work within the highest alignment, the highest respect, honoring the divine will as well as your free will. Okay, we always work within the highest alignment and resonance to universal law, divine law, sacred law. Just taking a breath. No harm is done ever. No energy is taken that is not freely given. We are doing energy work in this place, in this space, but we do not go against your will, your divine will, or your free will. Must be freely given. And it has to be ready to release, to be honest. So welcome. Let's have fun. Let's grow together. Let's encourage each other, and let's just have some fun and do some readings. Okay? All right. So, ooh, Divergent. Is that you? Who is that? I don't want to, let's see, hold on 1 second. Okay, I want to make sure. Let me scroll through these messages really quick and make sure that the right person got blocked. This is a place to please respect the place. If this isn't your vibe, there's absolutely no reason to come in here and attempt to control and force others to believe as you do. It's a great reminder that we all have different beliefs, different things work for different people, different strokes for different folks. Thanks for the reminder, but bye-bye. Okay. You're a hot mess. No, you ain't. Okay, you're Divergent. Okay, that's Jen. Jen. I don't know why I said that. So what did you multi-dimensional? Okay, I got you. Multi. So we're gonna do a paid reading for our girl Jen here. No, I'm sorry, Jennifer. And we're gonna do a multi-dimensional mediumship here. So if you have yet to see me facilitate multi-dimensional mediumship, Jennifer, feel free to take it in and see. Yeah. Okay, all right. So, and if you are looking for a free reading, stick around. I encourage you, or come back. Yeah. All right. So Jennifer, I want to call you Jen now, just because I'm feeling playful. So Jennifer, just connecting to you. And just setting some intentions for you. It's always the highest and best good, for your highest and best good, for whatever insights that needs to come through. It's relevant to you. It's going to benefit you at this time. It's also relevant at this time. And seeing who wants to answer this call. So I'm just filling in because I am getting some vibes here. Sometimes it takes me a minute to translate and interpret what information I'm actually receiving. So there is going to be some energy work in this session. So I'm going to just start requiring your consent. Everybody's consent who wants to get a reading, or whether it's paid or free. Okay. Especially as it comes to energy work, I just want to honor that your will. Okay. So there is going to be energy work here. This is really interesting as I'm connecting to it, because it's a very formless type of energy that's coming through. When I initially connected, I was hearing I am no one, or I am nothing and everything simultaneously. So this feels like a very expanded perspective coming in. It is, yes, it's definitely, okay, it's definitely another version of you in a very, very expanded state. Feels like we're going up to the 6th dimension. And I'm not great at explaining the different expressions of the dimensions because I don't really know all of them myself, like full out. But it's very expanded and it's a very different experience. Let me just say that. So I'm just kind of asking, why are you coming in? Why is this aspect coming in? So this aspect is coming in. I kind of see, okay, how I describe it is I'm seeing it. I'm also sensing it and feeling it and hearing it. But I kind of get the vision of your 6th dimensional self, like up here, not to create any kind of hierarchy, but just as a visual. Up here in the 6th dimension, almost like the genie when he got like super big in Aladdin. Not the live action version, but like the cartoon version back in the day that Disney did. Like super, super big. Very, very expanded. Very, very expansive. Very huge, very big. And streaming this information down to you in this 3rd dimensional, more limited and physical reality. The main, let's see, I would say the main, or at least one of the main purposes for doing this and coming in this way. Okay, it's a couple reasons. Is to help you expand your vision for yourself and also your perspective, because let's face it, we can all get a little limited in our vision. You know, I'd like to use the guy that was coming in, our brother that was coming in and saying repent in the comments and being like, saying the things. Sometimes we get a little limited, and then we can act from arrogance, from ignorance, from those limited perspectives that can create a lot of prejudice and fight and warring, not just like with others, but within ourselves. That's what creates war, is because there's that conflict and that internal war that's going on a deep internal level. Okay, I don't know why I'm saying this, but it feels relevant. So just kind of fill in. It feels like a he. It feels like a big, very masculine presence. There's so much information. Do you want to give me the other reason? I'm trying to think. Hold on one second. One of the other reasons is to help you with your masculine energy. To help you with grounding and doing and following through on the actions that are aligned with, I guess, your feminine energy or your feminine essence, or what you want to create. So your feminine, creatrix, badass, magical energy, that muse that we all have deep inside. The creatrix is what I hear. So he's streaming this masculine energy from the 6th dimension. He's streaming. I can literally see it and even feel it coming in through your crown chakra. So If you tune in, you might actually be able to feel this as a literal stream of information, because there is a lot of energetic support as well as light. And light is, of course, also data, which equals information. So there's a lot of information also coming in for your expansion, as like I said, especially for your perspective, because this is going to help, here's the word, dislodge some of those old identities that are unconsciously sabotaging your best efforts for creating and living your best MF in life. So whether or not you feel it or sense it or see it, it's happening. It's it's very strong. It's a very strong stream of energy. Okay, so whether or not you feel it or sense it, it's happening. And it's basically, we're saying this because you don't have to do anything. Just feel, and it's going to allow a natural process to happen. One of the other things that's very interesting, he comes in almost as a guardian type of energy. So I'm going to refer to him as the guardian. Is, one second. I'm just following the stream of energy. Okay. Okay. So one, I don't remember what I was saying before or how I worded it, but this guardian is coming in as, during this time, because there's so much more, especially so much more of our dimensionality and our multidimensional aspects that are so much more available to us right now, that they can actually come in and help in ways that they could not before, because there was restrictions and quarantines, and also veils that it also just wasn't time. Now is the right time. We're in the year of the 8. It's 2024. It's an 8 year. It's about manifestation. It's about reclaiming our power. It's about all of that. Like, to me, that really signifies Plutonian energy and Scorpio energy. If you kind of resonate with more of like astrology language, power, magic. It can also have to do with money as well. So we're talking about manifestation, financial abundance, everything that kind of is underneath the Scorpio scope, as well as Pluto. And Pluto has a lot to do with power and empowerment. Okay, so reclaiming power, especially where it has been lost, misused, what is that word? Relinquished as an oath or as a vow. This is going to another life, okay? This is stuff you brought in with you. These are actually connecting to patterns you've had in other lives and that you haven't quite resolved, and you're still exploring. And it is listening to your higher self. Your higher self's like, no, we designed it in this lifetime to reclaim that shit, reclaim your power, where you have relinquished it, suppressed it, denied it, disowned it, and also misused it in other lives. So when we misuse our power, and we might see the effects, right? How it affects others or even our own life, we might be like, okay, shit, my bad. And also, we can take vows. I vow to never use my power again. So there feels like there's a vow there that this guardian is also helping you during this rite of passage into your power. And we're talking about multi-year. I'm hearing 8. So I don't know if that's because we're in the 8 year or if that's 8 years or 8 months, but this is a rite of passage that's going to be multi-year. For whatever reason, again, I hear the number 8 because that also does connect to power, at least in my head. So, and this masculine guardian guy is coming in to support you in this rite of passage of reclaiming your power. Because it feels like when I tune into you, it feels like it's a little scary to really fully own my power. Like, is it safe? Am I going to be a target? I don't want to be a target. It can feel a little unsafe, especially if we've misused our power in the past or even been persecuted for being in our power, or, hanged or killed or beheaded or whatever, in whatever way, for being in our power. Okay. So there is a lot of past life stuff coming up for you to clear out, because it's also bringing in a lot of karma. Speaking of the 8th house in astrology is also karmic. I at least that's how it translates to me. Is there's Pluto, there's a lot of karma there with Pluto. It's clearing out all the karma, especially because Pluto went into Aquarius in January. I think it was January 20th to be exact. And that creates a whole shift in power, and it creates a whole shift in our consciousness, especially if we're open and receptive to it. Okay. Jesus Christ. Like, I want to laugh and cry at the same time. It's very kind of bizarre. So let me listen for one moment. There's a lot streaming in. Okay. So what we're going to do now, and what I'm being guided to do, is facilitate some energy work on my end. And I just want to make sure that I get your consent on my end. Okay. Let me know. I have been doing that. Reclaiming. Okay. So you've been doing all the things. Yes. Okay. I think that's your consent. I think I haven't been able to feel anything spiritually. I'm like afloat. Interesting. That's been my inner war. I'm so masculine. I want to tap in. Oh, so there's a lot of, okay. So no, that actually makes sense. Sometimes I interpret it wrong, but that's cool. You're not a man. We're feminine, we're masculine, we're everything. Okay, that's where I'm at. So I'm just looking at your responses, Jennifer. Okay. So one second. I just want to make sure that I have, okay. I just want to make sure I have all that. Okay. Yes, you may. All right. Yes, Katie, if it resonates, take it. Spirit speaks through all of us. Even if I'm not specifically reading for you, that's how group energy works. It's beautiful. Okay. So, Jennifer, all right, back to you. So if anybody that is watching here live or even on the replay, hint, I upload all of my TikTok lives onto YouTube. Okay, so you can always re-watch there, and also get a feel for how I facilitate other medicine and readings, and as well pay all the paid services and stuff. Okay, so taking a deep breath. So for all of those who are watching live or on the replay, you can feel free to receive what is for you as I'm channeling these codes and working within the energy field, because some of it is going to quote unquote spill over, and you can just intend to receive. Okay. My face is getting hot. All right. So I just want you to breathe deeply, Jennifer, and anybody else who is receiving, just breathe deeply. Just keep on taking those deep breaths. We're doing some like preliminary work within your energy system. And you can pay attention or just notice, observe where you feel energy moving, kind of tuning into your own energy. And we would even invite you to close your eyes. You don't have to, but we would invite you to do so, because it helps to create a more internal focus. Or you can just watch it back later and do it then. Your choice. All right. Okay, there we go. So we're grounding a lot of this, and we're helping this huge influx of energy. Like I feel like my cheeks are flushed. Huge energy flow into the crown, circulate in your body, and like correctly. And so we're just kind of guiding and clearing and guiding and clearing. So you may feel a rush of energy as we clear all of this out and allow the energy from this guardian, this guardian from the sixth dimension, this guardian of the galaxy, to so you can actually better access the information and the energy. So just allowing that to float and flow. As I'm kind of receiving some, not kind of, I am receiving some information just about the masculine energy. And interestingly enough, it feels like there's a balance, because when the masculine is in balance, it can also give permission to the feminine to rise into her power. But when we have like a wounded masculine energy, whether it's toxic or wounded or whatever, it's still wounded. No matter how it's expressing, when it's in a wounded state, the feminine energy, especially if we have incarnated in a female body or even identify as a woman or express more feminine energy, it can become imbalanced and lopsided because we're trying to overcompensate for the lack of divine empowered masculine energy that naturally is supportive to that female or that feminine essence and frequency and energy. So that's part of how I would interpret the like how you were saying how like you're masculine. It's because there's a lack of safety. There's a lack of safety. Oh, I gotta do this thing. This is how I was taught or programmed or imprinted to express and to fit in and to belong into a society that's in a very wounded masculine energy. It's not in its divine empowered state. So as that masculine energy comes into balance and harmony within himself or itself, it gives, I guess, kind of permission, like an unspoken permission, and it's holding space for the feminine energy to rise into her power and reclaim her power, reclaim her throne. So this masculine energy that's coming in is helping you to rebalance your masculine energy and show you the distortions, the overcompensations, the imprinting, and the societal programming, or even familial, or I said societal, or the internal programming that you've received on how to be a woman expressing in a male-dominated society that is imbalanced in its masculine energy. So again, he's coming in to help you through this rite of passage because it's going to be powerful and profound and help you really help your feminine energy to begin to feel safe. And also like orient to your feminine energy, because those of us, because I know what it's like to be like in my masculine more. I've had to create safety. We have to create safety and like, okay, it's safe. And it's a reorientation process of like, we have to create safety and like, okay, it's safe. And it's a reorientation process of like, as a support system for a divine masculine template so that your feminine can feel safe to begin to express. And so you can learn how to lead more with your feminine energy, as well as like be able to switch. Okay, now I'm in my feminine, now I'm in my masculine. And it's like it becomes automatic over time, where it's not like, oh, okay, now I'm going to be masculine. Now I'm going to be feminine. It's a very seamless process. But it takes it's a bit of a learning curve to kind of rebalance and reorient into that feminine, especially when your feminine essence doesn't feel safe. Okay, doesn't feel safe, doesn't feel nurtured. This is about feeling safety and security. Okay, so it's connecting to the root chakra. And what I was doing, or at least what I was guided to do when we first kind of went in and I was like silent, we're like grounding all of this information that's kind of flooding your system, and it's flooding your system purposefully in order to again really dislodge some of that old shit. And you can start to see, as it begins to dislodge, you can start to see the cracks, and you can start to see the distortions for what they are, which makes it easier for you to see beyond the illusion, first of all, but also release those old identities and that old way of being and thinking and knowing yourself, and old belief patterns and structures that really no longer are serving you, and they definitely aren't going to serve you where you're being guided to go, which is how I hear it is like being a cycle breaker for generational trauma, as well as stepping into your quote unquote greater purpose as a human being, not a human doing. So just breathing into that. My face is super hot. There's this energy is quite massive. So it's probably, I'm going to say it's going to take a couple of days for you to integrate and fully process this energy. So drink lots of water over the next couple of days. Just be extra conscious of your water intake. And then if you can get into a salt bath, putting some magnesium flakes in there. I always like to, that's like an extra little added treat. But lots of water internally. Like almost to the point where you're peeing every 5 minutes. You know what I mean? I mean, if you can, like if you can actually, you know, if that's not like too disruptive, but like really that's it, where we just want to illustrate. You need to really bring in a lot of water over the weekend. Yeah, Saturday, Sunday, and even into Monday. He doesn't really have any codes to share. I guess codes are maybe, they're not necessarily more feminine, but they can be a little bit more feminine expression because they're very flowy. He's bringing in like energy because there's, it's creating a lot of heat. He doesn't really say why, or like I don't sense a reason necessarily why, just that it's more energetic support, because he's like giving you the maybe not full blast. He's going to be blasting you over the next couple of days. That sounded some way, but I didn't mean it that way. But blasting you with this energy to help you support you in all of these aspects that we've talked about and we've covered, okay? But he's guiding me to not speak, to not like give codes, because there is, as I tune into it in this way, it's for a very particular reason, and it's energetic support, energetic structure, so that your feminine can feel more at ease and safe to unfold. And so there's a very kind of particular reasoning now that I'm kind of tuning into it a little bit more to help you with your rite of passage as you move through these next several years, especially as it pertains to your feminine energy and exploring that more and allowing her to express more, and to also know that it's safe now. I believe it feels like it's your feminine energy that came in with the vow. I mean, like, it's other parts of it. Like, it can be looked at as different ways, but that's how it's coming in. Like, it kind of feels more connected to your feminine essence of like, nope, I vow to not do that again. Or at least your feminine energy was very affected by that negatively and was like, I don't want any part of that shit. So it could have been your masculine energy that was very like aggressive and controlling and domineering and wanting to dominate, misusing that power. And the feminine energy was like, I don't want this. It hurt to see it caused a conflict. So again, with the warring, the internal warring, caused an internal conflict between masculine and feminine. So the masculine is coming in now to show you a different kind of support, that it can be gentle, it can be energetic, also strong and supportive and safe. Because before, it felt pretty unsafe how your power was being used and unleashed to create havoc and war. So now you're dealing with the internal war, okay, in this life. So I would tune in, maybe receive for like the next couple of days, tune in to receive, and just kind of like tune in maybe to this sixth dimensional aspect that is coming in to help you rebalance, and then like see what comes in, what intuitive insights, and write down anything, consider it, what's like, how does it relate? Okay. It's very silent and very strong. Also comes in like a guardian energy. So let me ensure just kind of wrap up the energetic, my part of the energetic support on my end. Just making sure everything is kind of moving smoothly. It feels like it's moving a lot more smoothly than it was before. Okay, now that feels good. And then I'm just going to listen for one more hot second and see if there's anything else. It doesn't feel like there is, though. So again, I would just encourage any journaling or internal kind of like self-reflection, contemplation, to sit in silence for at least 5 to 10 minutes, if not more, to see what comes in daily around these themes that we've covered here today, because it feels like there's so much more, because it's all of it's your gifts, right? It's your awareness. I can't do the work for you. So the more you kind of tap in and are willing to receive any insights or additional intuitions or whatever, I feel like the more beneficial it could really potentially be. Okay. I'm just going to disconnect and thank this aspect of you. Alrighty then. How was that? Whew, am I like, I feel like my cheeks are like really red, but they're not. Hi there, Danielle. Let me know if you're still here. I know there's not a lot of people left in me. Are in me? I don't know what I'm thinking about. There's not a lot of people left in here. How was that, Jennifer? As you come back, do so in your own time, but let me know. Let me see. So let's see, we're 10:22 on my end. Let's do interesting. Let's do a last call for readings, free, paid, etc. Okay, so again, if you'd like a free reading, let me know in the comments. All you got to do is comment with your name and a question. Okay, and then I don't do pregnancy or fertility. It can be a yes or no question, a more in-depth question, general, love, health, career, whatever is kind of on your mind. It can be about spiritual stuff, starseed stuff, light worker stuff. I just kind of tap in and channel what comes through. I'm not sure. Oh, meditations. Do I do meditations? I was like, what is a meditation? I'm not sure what that is. I wasn't sure if that was something I never heard of. Yeah, like what kind of meditations? Like group meditations here, like on my lives, or in general. I would like to maybe put some meditations out in the future. Yeah, sometimes I guess not specifically, but also when people work with me one-on-one, it can be said that, I kind of help people go into a more not quite trance state, but very relaxed and also kind of meditative state, but not specifically. I don't think so. Yeah, absolutely, Katie. I would be able to facilitate that. Like without a question, yeah. So for the free readings, it can be like general health, career. Why is my light like not working? Well, that's so weird. I guess I might need to hook it up and into a better base. All right, so let's just kind of fill in here. There's just so much energy streaming through. So also, as I kind of scroll through here, just so you know, I am on a new site called heal.me, and that allows clients and potential clients to see all of my services, read review from past clients, check my availability. schedule a session. It's like all right there on like one little tiny profile, and also book a discovery call with me that's free, and to see if you know we're the right fit, or if any of my my services are the right fit. So you can check that out in the link in my profile under services and booking. I guess Danielle's not here anymore. I guess Danielle's not here anymore. Or even a paid reading, or has questions. Let's do a last call, because I'm unsure of who's here. We only have 7 people in here, which is cool with me. But if there's no activity going on, then I just may call it a night. So let's do a last call to see who's still in here. And yeah. There we go. All right. So we do have people in here. Oh my goodness, look how that works. Let me kind of just fill in. Is it Tava? Is that how you pronounce that? Open to anything I need to hear. So let me just kind of connect in. Wow, when I connect to your energy, my dear, I almost feel like my brain hurts. So to me, this is an indication of like overthinking, overanalyzing, and having like what I hear is like a lot of overactive and overstimulated mental energy, which can distract you from actually following like your heart. Your heart is the one that really needs to lead, but there's a lot of we can get stuck in a lot of programming and imprinting around I need to logic everything out. And there's some, just some of us have more prominent mental energy, and that's part of like our themes that we're exploring to help balance and stuff like that. So there's quite an over stimulation of mental energy. Like my brain almost literally hurts. Whew. Just kind of tuning into your energy. It feels like the synapses in my brain feel a little fried, a little overworked. So I would ask you, how can you create balance in your mental energy? How can you, I would invite you to come more into your heart space and ask you how can you achieve that? I would encourage some type of meditation where the focus is to quiet the mind and still the mind, because that's going to help the mind it feels like there is some unsafety around a still mind. Like, oh no, if my mind is still, that I'm not being productive. I don't like, it's almost like your mind doesn't know how to sit still. And so training your brain into, and well, not just your brain, but your mind to relax more and understand that it's safe. To relax more is going to create a greater balance. And so, and in quieting and stilling the mind, it's going to help you be able to tune into your heart more which should be the real leader, and we just take the mind on along for the ride. The mind has been conditioned to do a lot of things that it's not meant to do, which is like obviously math and there's things there that the mind is meant to do, but it's not meant to figure all the things out. It doesn't know. It's the mind is simply a receiver. It recalls the information that's already happened and that we've already learned. But it's not meant to figure out all the future stuff, and it can be exhausting, which can cause overstimulation, overanalyzation, or overanalyzing, and stress, overwhelm. Okay, so I would recommend some meditation for you, my dear, to help, or at least some kind of activity, even if it's walking in the park on a nice day, to help calm the mind, so where you're not thinking, stealing the mind. Okay, there's all kinds of activities, but meditation comes to me first. I hope that helps. Your brain has been hurting, definitely overwhelmed and stressed. It's because of everything I talked about. It's over. Your brain is literally overworked. The synapses feel fried. They're overworked and very stressed. Yeah. I mean, it's all a learning process, right or wrong or whatever, but it's all a learning process. So if you'd like to, I'm just going to invite you into a one-on-one session with me, if that's something that feels good, but I can definitely help to clear all of that out and kind of give your brain and all of the synapses in there a bit of an energetic massage and clear out like a lot of stuff. But that is something that there's like little to nothing that I haven't been able to facilitate for people. But there's that offering, and thank you so much for allowing me to read you. Yeah, you deserve to relax. It's part of self-care. Yes. Hello, good evening. So, Katie, is my energy saying anything specific to you? Well, everybody's energy says a lot of different things, but I do know what you mean. But when I tune into someone's energy, I typically will resonate. I mean, here's the thing. I connect to the higher self. I'm also connecting to your energy. And because of how I set my intentions, it's always for your highest and best good. Like whatever needs to come up, whatever insights, awarenesses need to come up for your highest and best good, for your growth and your confirmation and understanding in the moment. It's kind of whatever comes up. You know what I mean? So let's just see. Let's connect to your energy. But who am I? Katie, and see what comes up. When I tune into your energy, Katie, I'm taken to my heart. And it's really interesting because the awareness kind of came in here and went into my left side and swirled. What would that be? Is that counterclockwise? It's clockwise to me, around my heart, down the right side of my heart, and up, over to my left side and up and around. Typically when I'm taken to the heart, that means that there's some kind of unprocessed grief that's shutting down the heart in some way and making it feel unsafe. And so this is kind of what I'm feeling. Is this like unsafe to open the heart? If I open the heart, there's too much of a risk. There's too much of a liability. And just like feeling unsafe to open the heart because of the risk, the liability, potential weakness, potential threats. We can't have that. We can't have that. Because it's a threat. It's a threat to your survival. So there is underneath there's an unconscious egoic agenda of it's unsafe to open the heart because it's just painful. There's all these threats and risks that you take, and it's eventually you're always going to end up with some kind of heartache. Well, I'm going to tell you that's part of the human experience, and that's part of what makes our experience so beautifully rich, because we can experience the whole spectrum of emotions, but some of them we've defined in our head, whether societally, to ourselves, or familially, or we've determined on some level that's uncomfortable, and let's avoid that at all costs, because that can be a potential threat to our livelihood and our survival. So it's unsafe. So there feels like a lot of like unsafety around the heart and opening the heart. Okay. That's kind of what your energy says to me. And I would ask why. Why is it unsafe? What wounds, what heartache happened? Where did you unconsciously decide it wasn't worth the risk, and it's a threat to, and therefore a threat to your survival? That's what I would ask you. And again, I can definitely help with this. I can definitely help with that. But that is what I feel for you, and I would encourage you to look there. Okay. Let me see. I hope that makes sense. Thank you. It does. As long as it resonates, that's all that matters. Dwight, are you still here, my dear? I don't know if Kelly is still here, but I like your name, Kelly Bundy. Somebody from the 80s, 90s, was that 80s or 90s? A little bit of both, probably. You're here, so you're asking for a general. Let me just kind of tune in and see what comes through. One moment. This is really interesting. It's going to take me a minute or two to decipher what's going on here. Interesting. So at first I was guided to the heart, and I'm like, okay, is this kind of similar to our last reading with Katie? Not quite, but also kind of. There does seem to be some kind of what is the word? Closed downness around the heart. The heart is a little closed. As I was tuning into that, I felt a pretty significant pain in my right hip. So to me, that is going to connect into your masculine energy. In my view and my beliefs, we all have masculine and feminine, just different types of, what do you call it? Different balances, or that's not quite the word I'm saying, but like different, not iterations, but different, I'll say balances because I can't think of the word, of both. Okay, and sometimes they're underbalanced, imbalanced. But I was feeling this pain in my right hip, and it kind of goes down. It's kind of a dull pain, and then it kind of feels like it acts up and it flares up every now and then. So I don't know if this is indicative of an actual physical manifestation that's happened, but it does feel like it's connected to masculine energy and wounded masculine energy. Wounded masculine energy that is specifically wounded masculine energy that has been wounded through heartache, through, and that doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. It could also be through family, through loss of any kind, whether it's job, career, or a relationship of some kind. But it doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. It can be like different kinds of relationships, parents, siblings, family. Just feels like loss. I don't really get a more specific reading on it, but like, here's the thing: this imbalance in the heart, if it's not already manifested as like a physical thing, it feels like it could very much well begin to manifest. And our hips, they're stabilizers. They kind of signify or symbolize stabilization, similar to our knees, but a little bit different, because our hips can move in a lot of different ways. We can become really tight in the hips, and we can also, what happens with the hips is that we tend to hold a lot of unprocessed emotions in the hips. So this can make a lot of sense, especially as how I'm feeling it in the heart. It feels like, don't touch that sore, that hurts. Don't fucking touch it. Like it can almost kind of like a guard dog. Like you get too close, you know what I mean? Like don't touch that. That's sensitive. And then it creates imbalances in the hips, and it feels like your hips are storing some of this unprocessed emotional energy, and it's gonna, if it hasn't already manifested, I would just be conscious of it, because it's very possible and very likely that it could begin to manifest physically and cause more physical limitations and like aches and pains. And a good way to do this, some of the practical advice that I'm hearing coming through, is to spend some time working on the hips and opening the hips, whether it's like a frog stretch, or like there's a lot of yoga poses that help to open that. There's like a double pigeon where you stack your feet onto each of your knees and kind of relax into it. That can be really intense. There's a lot more gentle hip opening, like pigeon, and cow face pose. But I would encourage you to work with hip opening stretches and or poses from yoga or from a yogic standpoint to help release those trapped emotions so that you can begin to process. You'd be surprised and amazed what gets trapped in that hip, because it's so that socket, that ball and socket it's so deep in there. You got the glute, you got the front of the thigh, the psoas, you got you got all of the glute muscles in there and all of that meat. And it can get trapped in those tissues and the muscle and the tendons and all of that. So that's what I would recommend for you. That is a way to kind of gently begin to process and then help to start to unlock the heart. But I would really recommend to be very gentle with yourself and non-judgmental, because it's going to bring up a lot for you. It's going to bring up a lot of like tenderness and feeling very vulnerable. And that feels a little uncomfortable when I kind of step into your energy. It feels like uncomfortable. I'm not sure. It's like almost like I'm unsure how to feel about this, because it feels on an unconscious level like a threat, and I don't want to go there. Okay? Feels like a threat to survival is what I mean. So I'm going to leave that there. But that's what I feel. Does that make sense? And to any, Katie says, I have been working through miscarriage grief this week, and as it would be my due date. Wow. Or as your due date approaches. That's deep. That's really deep. So there's definitely a lot of emotions there. I don't know if Katie, you're still on there, but definitely allow yourself to process and feel all of the things. It's going to be uncomfortable and probably not the prettiest thing, but the only way out is through. You got to feel it to heal it. Okay, we're sending you love. Whether we're here live or on the replay, we're sending you all love, Katie. That is really can be potentially very emotionally taxing. So be gentle with yourself, love on yourself, and be very non-judgmental about what you're feeling. That's going to help. That's going to help you move into a state or into more acceptance. You're welcome, Dwight. What I was going to say was, with any of these things, like what I really like to do is I really like to read people, and then I like to do things about it. Not necessarily to do things about, but I like to help people release the tension or release the trauma or release that energetic overwhelm that's going on, because that's one of my specialties. So just to let you know, whether you're watching live or on the replay, all of these different things that I'm tuning into and reading for people, I can also energetically assist with, because I do provide energetic alchemical medicine. That's part of my blueprint. It's part of my medicine. It's just part of my medicine. Also, you can book with me and see all of my services and check out my reviews through my services and link. No, it's bookings. Is it booking and services? Link in my link tree, in my profile. Oops, in my profile. What's up, Ash? How are you? I am getting ready to get to probably hightail it out of here. How are you doing? Thank you again for that review. That was it. It was so emotional. It was so emotional for me. I was like, oh my God. Yay, ordering snacks. That's the best. Ordering snacks and taking a little peek in here. Nothing much going on. There's a couple of different, I really did. Oh, thank you for the roses. Country woman. I like it. Thank you. April, are you here? You were asking, do you think I will find love again? Let me know if you're here, April. Boom, boom, boom. You're on a real fruit sherbet cake? Ooh, I like it. That sounds healthy. I like it. Go with it. Go with that. Okay, so April, you're talking. Okay, April's here. Thank you for the confirmation. Let me just kind of feel into it and see what comes in. Okay. Okay. So as I tune into it, I do feel this is what I was feeling kind of off the top of my head when I was reading your comments initially. Yes. The only thing is, I guess, or the caveat or the subtlety or the nuance here is that the bigger picture here is self-love, and that can be like tough to hear or like eye roll, you know, like there, you know, one moment. This is a time more for self-love and also purification of your energy if you're open to it. Part of what a relationship can do for you is it can distract you from your own, from dealing with your stuff. It kind of serves as a distraction of like, oh, I have this and I feel the love, and that's great. There's definitely no judgments there, but basically what I'm kind of getting is that there is a need and a requirement to really source that from within. And you have to be willing to do that and willing to go on that journey for that journey to begin to unfold. And, you know, I don't know if you're already on this journey or you're already like aware of this, but this is where it feels like you're being guided to go is more on like self-love and sourcing that from within. Because when you're fully sourced within, you can find your peace and centeredness without requiring a partner, from that space of clarity and centeredness and alignment. In my opinion, that's where you want, from that space is where you actually want to attract a partner. It doesn't always happen that way, because sometimes we do attract a really great partner when we're maybe not in a good space. Everybody's different. Okay? So it's not like a one size fits all. But this is kind of where I feel it's about purification. It's about really tuning into your own energy, your own needs, your own wants, really getting into that and enjoying your own company. Just because you're alone does not mean you're lonely. But there's still it just feels like there's still some inner work to do and to tend to that's I actually hear the word imperative before you attract someone new in. Because, how do I say this? Before we come into this lifetime, we make contracts and agreements with other people that are meant to come in, so that we can meet them. But we have to be the version of ourselves that we're meant to be, that meets that version of them. Does that make sense? So there's still some work to do and some things to become aware of and layers to shed before you become that version that attracts that version of that other person. Okay? It feels like you're getting a little restless with this. But it feels like the more you kind of surrender to the process and accept that, like, this is where I am. Would I really want to force the issue, or like force myself, to date if it's not like, or, just force the process? I mean, you can. You can. I don't feel like that would work out, though. It feels like there's some inner work that needs to be done before that, like, a way more aligned partner comes in that is, like, I would say more of a dream partner is how I'm hearing it's articulated in my head. Okay? So maybe that's not what you want to hear, but that's kind of how it comes through. And yeah, that's what I got. Not at all what. Yeah, that's what not at all what. Oh, hi, Crystal. I really appreciate the question, but I don't do anything related to pregnancy or fertility. There's so many other amazing readers out here on TikTok. So I would definitely encourage you to find someone who does that. It's not my bag. But congratulations with the pregnancy, and just sending you blessings for an easeful evacuation. Sending you so much love. Kaylani, thank you for subscribing and purchasing an auto renewal subscription. Thank you so much. If you're you're not restless. Okay. It feels like, here's the thing. What I tune into is, I tend to tune into, which is what I was saying before, about kind of how I operate. I tend to tune into the unconscious parts of you. So, sometimes we don't feel consciously a certain way, but our unconscious does. And I could be totally wrong. So definitely don't take it if it doesn't resonate. But I just to let you know, that's kind of how I operate. And I tend to really tune into people's unconscious, because I help them to catalyze deep transformation, because that's just who I am, and the medicine that I offer. Let me know, Kaylani. Is it Kaylani? If I can do a reading for you. Thank you, Sunflower. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. At least you got something out of it, some kind of entertainment, right? That's all that matters. Evacuation. I'm just saying, like, that was the word that came into my head. I didn't mean for it to be like a joke or anything. I just, that was the word that came to my brain. Have you heard of bird medicine? What kind of bird medicine? There's like, I feel like, what kind of bird medicine? What can I help you with, or what can I support you with, Kaylani? General, love, health, career. Are you open? Do you have a specific question? How may I be of service? That was an epic word. Just saying. Yeah. I, in my opinion, and how I see the world, I see, there's like an overarching, or like an archetypal bird medicine, which can, I'm like tuning into it now. There can be like an archetypal bird medicine, which can cover birds in general, but like then you tune into like a meadowlark as opposed to a blue jay, as opposed to a cardinal, as opposed to a magpie, as opposed to a pigeon, a dove, an eagle, a hawk. They all have their different, more specific medicine. And what I've found is, like, in any kind of animal or bug or amphibian or whatever kind of medicine, you can kind of tell what their medicine is by their nature, how they live and how they do things and how they hunt or how they eat food or different things like that. That's kind of gray cockatoo. It's very interesting. Is it the kind of cockatoo that talks back? Or that you can like teach to speak? Because that feels very, what's the word? It feels very mirror-like, but it also feels fun because they have like the little flare on top of their head. It feels kind of fun. Do you have a gray cockatoo? There is no list, Lauren. To get on the list, that's a paid service. But when I do free readings, I just kind of go where I'm intuitively guided. Okay, so Kaylani, you're open? Okay, cool. Hopefully you're still here. Yeah, let's see, open. Let's see, Kaylani, where are you? Okay. Very interesting. So kind of the initial thing that I feel here is, I don't know if you're open to like mentorship or guidance. It feels like you're just like really open and like more of a sponge, almost kind of like a kid right now. And kind of in that space of being very open to learn, eager to learn. So I don't know if you have a mentor or have a teacher or there's one coming in, but it feels like that's a pretty big possibility given the trajectory and the timeline that I kind of feel you on. And it comes through as more of like a spiritual guide, but it can also be, but like, here's the thing. Something that we love to do can also be spiritual. So even if I have like a mentor that's teaching me how to draw and different like, what do you call them? I can't think of the word. Different ways to draw, or different techniques is the word that I was looking for. Different techniques, etc. That can be spiritual as well. So kind of take it how it resonates. It doesn't necessarily mean like spiritual, but it also can. But there's no like, the word I hear is delineation of like, this is spiritual and this is not. Anything can be spiritual if it's like in alignment to us in that way. But it just feels like you're kind of like a really open spirit right now, and open to learning. So here's the thing. What I hear is like, not like a super harsh warning, but it's more like a be conscious of what I guess you open yourself to. It's not to create fear in any way. It's more like being more discerning of what you're choosing to learn, or what you're open to learning. I don't know if or how that lands, but that's what comes through, and that's how it comes through. Just kind of being cautious and being aware. Okay, like, and if something doesn't feel right, it's for a good reason. I'm hearing GTFO there. GTFO there. Because that's your intuition and your gut letting you know, like, for whatever reason it doesn't resonate. All right, you might learn later why that was, or you might not, but trust your inner instinct. So there's also like an underlying refinement of your discernment right now, especially like I take that back. There's just an underlying refinement of your discernment happening. Not any especially, it's just more like refining the discernment. And so just paying attention to what feels right, what feels in alignment, what feels exciting to learn. And when it feels a little off, there's a good reason. It doesn't necessarily mean they're wrong or they're teaching anything dangerous. It could just mean that like your spirit doesn't vibe with it, and that's important to listen to. That's part of honoring you and your own internal guidance system. So there's a lot about intuition and discernment, and really following your sense, your inner sense, whether it's your gut, whether it's your intuition, whether you're hearing it, whether you're feeling it, whether you can see it. Follow that. Okay? And then just on top of that, just being open to learning what truly is in alignment. Because you're being taught by Spirit how to notice the subtleties. And sometimes that comes in the form of, dang, I knew it. you know, the intuition comes in and you do the thing anyway and you're like, ah, crap, I knew it. So sometimes it comes in that way. It doesn't have to, but sometimes it comes in that way. And it's funny how it just kind of came in. But, and it's not it's not to judge yourself. It's just to be like, oh, okay. Sometimes that happens, and that's part of the process of learning to trust your instinct and trust your gut and trust your intuition. Okay. And I'm going to leave it there. Does that make sense? What were you saying? Greg Hockey 2 only popped in for a second, so I don't. Oh, interesting. He was very in your face, like, hi. What I really like to tell, or to suggest for people is like, what does it feel like? And to really feel into it and see what does it feel like to you, and what intuition comes in for you. Because what gray cockatoo might mean for me, or how I might interpret it, might be different to you. And I think it's always important to empower people to like feel into these things for themselves. So that's kind of how it feels to me. And I would just encourage you to be like, well, what does it feel like to you? If it's like very in your face, what does that say? What does that say to you? I could be really fun and kind of playful energy. But it could also mean like, if, you could interpret it really differently. Oh, thank you. I'm trying to open my mediumship more. Kehlani says, that's beautiful. Yeah, definitely in these more spiritual realms, you can definitely bump into like spiritual teachers who are maybe a little bit more ungrounded. And you definitely, when you're opening up, you definitely want to have discernment. So that's interesting that the discernment came in. The discernment piece came in like pretty strong there. So definitely, if it doesn't feel right, don't do it. And especially if you're wanting to, or I don't know how, I guess far in or advanced, I guess the word is, you are within that whole spectrum of just make sure you have your intentions, make sure you know your intentions, make sure you know where you want to connect, because if we don't have very specific intentions, it can leave us open to being manipulated by false light beings, or other beings that are like, imitating, this is what I am. And it's like, so it feels like your discernment is being refined, and that can only be done through practice. So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Awesome. Keep going. Do I say congratulations? Yeah, absolutely. Dive in, learn all the things, and definitely you want to know your intentions and how to set your intentions and set your space, your energetic space, and your intentions, because that's going to be like your foundation. Let me hold on one second. At least that's what I think he was doing. I think, like I said, feel into it. Hi. I mean, if that's what it feels like, and that's like your initial kind of response, like, ooh, what is that? The more you kind of get curious and use your imagination, the more it kind of opens the things up. Does that make sense? You needed to hear that? Good. I'm glad. As long as it makes sense to you, that's all that matters to me. So, my dears, I think that's going to be it for me. I will be, yeah, checking some things. So I think that's it for me for this week and for tonight. I will be back next week for more readings. In the meantime, if you want to book with me, or at least look at my services and the different price ranges and packages and stuff I have to offer, go to the booking and services page on my link tree, and you can check me out and all of the reviews and stuff there. Until next time, love you, and I love you. Have a beautiful weekend. Okay? Love you. Be safe. Mwah. Bye. I see you. I see you, Ash.